The city of Monticello, located in rural Jasper County, Georgia, has historically been a place of peace and simple living. Though in recent years, Monticello has found itself at a crossroad due to a 20% growth in population from 2020 and another 20% growth projected in the next 5 years. Due to this, Jasper County's commissioners and Board of Zoning and Planning tried to change zoning laws and lower property land minimums to accommodate for the need of housing. One of the changes brought up was R2 zoning, which would lower the required lot sizes to support medium-density housing, though these plans were met with resistance as many locals were against it because of the fear of urbanization's impact on their cherished lifestyles. To get a better look on what has happened with the R2 zoning situation, let's hear from one of our local government representatives, Bill Nash, who is a member of the Planning and Zoning Board and a retired architect.
In the county, there has been 2 changes in the Planning and Zoning Director. There was an R2 zoning proposed at a Board of Commissioners meeting without a lot of prior notice, and allows for smaller lots and perhaps smaller homes, but definitely smaller lots areas. And a lot of people in the county did not like that, and they rose up against it and let the commissioners know they were unhappy. The commissioners responded by withdrawing the R2 zoning.
How is data being used in zoning decisions? We spoke with Robert Jordan, a local land surveyor and owner of Jordan Engineering, to learn more about the data.
But as far as actual data collection, it's relatively minimal on the local level for a small community like Jasper County, because it's pretty expensive to collect that type of data. However, we have done some data collection as far as locations of utilities. We're beginning a project to inventory things like roads and culverts, some of the more basic infrastructure that will help the county plan how to spend money.
Finally, let's hear from 2 community members with 2 different perspectives. Neil Banks, a longtime homeowner, and Kristen Hewlin, someone who has experienced the struggles of finding housing in Monticello.
When I moved here, my house was surrounded by woods, which I loved that. I mean, you go out in the backyard at any time and see deer, and now construction next door. The only deer you see is running across the road because they have nowhere to go. One concern I have is, the wildlife, and especially the deer, because of the deer hunters and all that. I just don't want to see it turn into one of the surrounding counties.
When I was 15, I lived in a rental house in Hillsboro, and my family illegally got evicted out of it. We don't live in like a poverty life. Like we make money, It's just housing prices are too expensive for us to buy our own house and live in it.
Kristen is not the only person facing this problem in Monticello. Let's hear her experience with others in a similar position.
I do know a few other students who go through this, whether they live in Gray and they travel 30 minutes to go to school here because this is such a good school system and because there's no houses, so they have to live out of the county. Or whether it's they're living in a camper on someone else's land trying to build a house.
Though the R2 zoning controversy has been settled, the public's reaction to it has lingered since, and the anti-growth sentiments have only gotten stronger. With the problems of growth still looming over Monticello, facilitating data collection would help our small county decide on its best course of action, though the data we do have in Jasper County all point to one stopping factor in our growth: infrastructure.
The zoning is not the limiter on low-income housing until you get to smaller lot size and sewer availability. I know there's obviously both sides of this argument. Some people are less enthusiastic about growth, other people more enthusiastic about growth, and there's a lot of reasons on each side for those arguments. But unless the infrastructure is there to support the small lots, in my opinion, the zoning takes us a back seat to the infrastructure availability.
Due to lack of water and sewage infrastructure, in most of Jasper County, the lots cannot be sized down much more, even with the lowering of lot sizes due to state regulations. So the question of growth and housing availability does not lay with our zoning laws, but our county's infrastructure development.